Hello everybody, I'm Avery. This is Ravio Freight. In today's video, I got some tips for you when you go to a job to be interviewed. Of course, you're going as a company driver and they want to ask you a couple questions. I want to go ahead and give you just the gist of what you should be saying if these certain questions come up. I want to give one quick tip, which is as far as how you dress in going to a job interview. A lot of people say you should look your absolute best, go ahead and wear a suit. Nobody's really expecting that out of you as a truck driver. The first place I even went to for a suit, the dude was impressed, but he also said I was like the only person to ever do that while he, got an interview. So with that being said, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to not dress as, I'm not going to be as dressed up for the next place I go to. And sure enough, I did. I just dressed, fairly casual, I put on a collared shirt and some khakis, and that was it, and I still had on some dress shoes. I ain't going there with no sneakers. So I was still presentable, but just not like I was that first time. So yeah, as far as dress, don't worry about it. Some of the things they'll ask you will mainly be as far as if you have prior driving experience, then they'll ask certain questions like, what would you say is your biggest achievement being a truck driver? What was a time where, maybe somebody ticked you off while you were driving? And then what happened? And then what did you do? Another question they might ask is, have you ever been late to a route and my screen then cut off in the back? Most of this stuff will be something easy that you should be able to say. Some of you might not be able to think of anything, but just present yourself as a very defensive driver. Make sure that whatever happened to you, whether it's, whether it was true or not, just make sure that you know to not tell them that. Tell them exactly what they want to hear, which is, I maintain my cool. I stayed in my lane, or I let the guy cut me off and he done flicked me off too. But you know what? I just went ahead and slowed down and let him go. And 5 seconds later, I forgot he was even alive. One of those type of things, just always talk about how you are a defensive driver. If you ever been late to a route, then you always want to say, hey, I definitely made sure to let dispatch know this was the reason why. And maybe it doesn't matter the reason, so just always say, I'm always letting dispatch know if something might be a problem or if there's some type of accident. I let dispatch know so they can let other drivers know. Stuff like that. You're a team player, yada, 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 man. So, yeah. Another tip I got is you should be asking just as many questions as you are getting asked by the interviewer, because just like they're interviewing you, you should be interviewing them. You should be grilling them. They probably aren't going to, be perfectly honest, man. I grill these jobs like twice as hard as they even ask me, because be perfectly honest, a lot of these places don't even ask me that many questions. They tell me what the job is and they ask me if I want to work for them. There's only been a couple of places that I interviewed at where they asked me they asked me some questions for real, so yeah. So with that being said, these are a couple of tips that I want to go ahead and talk to you about. I will be making a follow-up to this about certain questions you should be asking every job that you go to interview for. So with that being said, be on the lookout for that. It's actually coming pretty soon after this video. So you won't be waiting too long. But hopefully this video helps you out. If it did, give it a like, thumbs up. And hey, you might want to consider subscribing, because this is a channel about trucking. So I'll have more things about trucking coming pretty soon. Thanks for watching.